work together. So today we have a full moon. It's in Aquarius, and Aquarius, the sun is in Leo. The moon is in Aquarius and the sun is in Leo. And the sun, for the sun, Leo's ruling planet, Leo rules sun. The symbol of that, of Leo, is um, the symbol of the sun in Leo's ruling planet is the circle with the little dot in the middle. I'm sure you've seen that when you see astrological signs. And the dot inside the circle is our identity within the whole and what makes us different from others. So that's what Leo energy is about. So Leo's showing up right now, and it's the conscious awareness of I am and the willingness to express that uniqueness openly, which is that really dovetails into what is our passion and purpose, where we are stepping in. So this time, specifically right now, is a really big opening for that opportunity. So what about Aquarius? Since the full moon's in Aquarius, it is the circle without the dot. That's the Aquarius. So imagine being part of a circle. So the circle is the safe place where everyone is included and no one is more special than another. Then imagine that you're part of this safe circle and you step inside the circle. So you bring the dot into the circle. That's healthy Leo energy. It's us showing up as who we are into the whole. And the circle might be your family, your work environment, your community, your neighborhood, whatever you're involved in. You may have multiple, you do have multiple circles that you participate in your life. And in each of those, you are a unique dot stepping into that circle and bringing that which you have to offer to that specific circle. And the way that circles are best constructed is that there's a safety in them and that we're able to express ourselves. So that's some of what the discord that's going on around us in our country right now is, the sense that there's not a safe circle. So you don't know where to go because you get into a circle and circles are getting exposed. When people have an opinion or a personal expression, it's not acceptable. So we need to really take this opportunity to shore up our circles to be safe spots. And that has to happen more than just us individually. It has to happen on a more communal level, a collective level, because we need this Aquarius space in order to show up as who we are. If we have to hide aspects of ourselves or not feel safe to be able to just be who we really are, we aren't able to step into our passion and purpose. And when we don't step into our passion and purpose, we feel an emptiness. Because we all come in with this intentionality to express ourselves with all sorts of different aspects and qualities and attributes, but there's an expression that's uniquely ours. And when this is something I know as mothers, those of us we're all mothers to the universe, but those who have mothered children into the world, trying to not guide the children to express the qualities that we like or that we respect or that we expect them to be, and let them show up as they really are, because that's the way they came in. It's hard. And even maybe we notice it with some friends where we try to cajole them into what seems like an expression we like. And we're not really celebrating the expression that they are. So now with this Leo and Aquarius and the sun, all this stuff happening, we have an opportunity where we have not felt the freedom to step into who we are, to speak our voice, which is always a big thing for women. Are you speaking the voice of truth for yourself? Not what somebody in your relationship thinks you should, or what your community thinks you should, or what our country thinks you should, or what culture thinks you should. Well, how do you step into where your voice is? Because that authentic voice you bring answers some problem that we're already having. And when we each step into that place, then things work out in a very different way than when we don't step in. There may be a void in that one place because we didn't fill it. And when there's a void, the puzzle can't be completed. We're a puzzle piece. And when we step into how our shape and our look and our color and all of those things that represent that one piece, when we step into that, that piece fits in exactly where it's supposed to fit in. And you've probably seen that happen specifically with our kids, where you think one attribute is a little crazy, and then you see as they mature and develop that that attribute actually serves them in some wonderful way. And we can see that even in our friends, if we really look, or we can see that in people all around us, how they're showing up. When they show up as themselves, something in that authenticness fills It maybe it serves them. Maybe it helps protect them. Maybe it does something. And how beautiful the cosmos is in its orchestration of this, and how we can start to trust that the qualities that we see in people around us that may be challenging maybe have some benefit. So we talk about that in Maya Tree a lot, that anyway, that's another thing. So Leo needs Aquarius because they work together. We need to be able to have the circle, safe circle, and we need to be able to have the dot that can step into the circle, because then we have a space of infinite creativity and potential. And that's what we're looking for, is how do we step into potential? We carry all this potential, but how do we step into it? So let me just see a couple other things that were in this report that I thought was so interesting. Oh, there's one thing, a trineme. I guess it's how the different planets line up with each other. I don't really understand all of it, but when Uranus or Uranus is opposing Saturn, the aspect speaks to the concept, the complexities of being part of a group, being inside the circle while protecting the dot at the center, which is your personal identity. So right now we can be really conscious about how we impact the circles we step into, and at the same time protecting what our own identity is. We don't have to scream it from the mountaintops, but we also don't have to abdicate it. And I think for women, abdication of self is often a quality where we just give in to what the group nature is. And right now that's not being called for, at least cosmically. If you look at the orientation of the planets, what's being called for is that you step into your voice and that you own that piece, whatever that work is that you're doing, we own it. Accommodating is not a word we should be so embracing. I mean, I know it's good for us to accommodate, to allow forward movement, but I think we tend to, as women, over accommodate. So we don't have to be a stick in the mud, but we also don't have to give in. And when we hold our own in a very gentle way, it's a win-win. The group wins because it gets the influence of what we're bringing, and we win because we still hold our own place, which is important. The full moon in Aquarius comes with the promise that true freedom and authentic belonging are possible. When we step into the circle with purpose, we keep the balance where the dot fuels the circle and the circle protects the dot. I love that. The dot fuels the circle. We bring our fuel to keep the circle animate and moving and electrified, and the circle protects us. It's really cool. So as I was looking at this, what I plan to talk about, which I will talk about in a couple of weeks, this purpose and passion, there's a story I want to share that was the beginning to it, and then I'll go on to the rest of it at another time. There's a sweet story from ancient India about a young person who has become disillusioned by the blindness and the coarseness of the daily world, and began seeking for a life of greater meaning and deeper understanding. So one day he came upon a temple where he was immediately welcomed, and so he stayed. And he began to study the ways of that temple, especially the practice of meditation. And soon he began meditating day and night. He barely stopped his practice to eat or sleep. And as time went on, he grew thin and continually seemed to be on the verge of complete exhaustion. Who does that sound like? Buddha. Buddha did the same thing when he first went out as Gautama. The old teacher of the temple advised the new student to slow down, to rest and take better care of himself. But the young seeker ignored the advice, even intensifying his practice. And then one day the teacher asked him, "Why are you rushing so much? What is the great hurry?" And the answer from the young devotee came back quickly. "I am after enlightenment, and there is no time to waste." The teacher considered that idea and then responded, "How do you know that enlightenment is running before you so that you must rush after it? What if enlightenment is actually trying to catch up to you? What if you must become more still for the awareness and wisdom you are seeking to find you where you already are? What if all your haste and feverish determination have actually been your habit of running away from that which you are seeking?" I'm like, oh, that is so juicy. It's so good. There are many ways to consider the question that the teacher is asking the young seeker. On a collective level, we can imagine that the question asks why everything is moving so fast. why people are rushing to develop AI, which perhaps in the end cannot provide the answers or the wisdom or the healing that is required for the healing of humanity. Since it's unlikely that the answers we truly need can simply occur on a collective level, the question becomes, what is trying to catch up with each of us? Since the outer world is suffering a loss of soul and a lack of meaning and coherent purpose, we might conclude that those missing things is what is trying to catch up with us. An old idea that life is a gift and that the gift of the human existence includes a potential awareness of inner meaning and life purpose. So now we've come this full circle. If we don't step into the circle as the dot and show up as this with our life purpose, perhaps we're leaving out the piece that is part of the healing of the entire collective. So it's our responsibility. So in this old sense, being a genuine individual involves not simply self-awareness, but also having an active, enduring sense of meaning and purpose in the world. So we look at this in Indian tradition all the time. You know, what is your purpose? What's your dharma? What did you come in to do? How do you find what you came in to do? How do you language what you came in to do? So we can look at it like, what we can call our soul purpose secretly connects us to a destiny that opens fields of meaning that can unfold both from within us and also in the world around us. So we're doing both. By stepping into our authenticness, we're doing both, of both serving ourselves and serving the collective. And in the terms of the soul, our purpose is not an optional choice. Rather, it's something inherent to us. It's already there. And in our haste to run towards something, we're running away from it. We need to look over our shoulder. Maybe it's behind us. Maybe we already know what it is and we're already doing it. And simply because where we are, if we just stay with what we're doing, we don't feel action enough. So we've got to press forward and find something new. What are we running away from that we've already found? I think that's something that we can ponder and imagine into and really look at where you've already arrived. That it may not be for you personally a journey to a new place. It may be a stepping into fully the circle as the dot that you already are. So what I ask you to do this next week is to even visualize that you're stepping into this circle as this radiating, brilliant dot that you are, because you've already arrived where you need to be. You're not actually looking to go someplace new or gather. I mean, it's fun to gather new ideas and new things. It's great. We're learning and expanding and accepting, and it keeps us from being judgmental and all sorts of things. But are we running without including stillness to stay where we are now? Are we running away from something rather than towards something? Let's see what we come up with.
Thank you, sweetie. Great talk. So prepare yourself to sit in a way that you can have your feet wide apart on the chair and that you can stretch out your arms. We will work this morning a lot our shoulders. Just bring your left hand into your lap. Right arm goes out to the right side. Palm is facing upward. You bring your right hand on top of your left shoulder, and then you bring your the right shoulder, and you bring your right elbow over to your left knee. Inhale up, and then rest your right hand in your lap. Bring your left arm out to the side. Left hand touches your left shoulder, and then the left elbow touches your right knee. So we're not bringing our forehead onto the knee, just the elbows, yeah? And then switch. Right arm comes out to the side, right hand touches the right shoulder, right elbow reaches for the left knee. And just continue closing your eyes and just feel into the stretch that you're creating. Move in alignment with your breath. And you can find your breath. Inhale and exhale. It's a nice opening for our shoulder, but also for our back. It stretches parts of our body that we really stretch into throughout the day. Maybe you feel that it can stretch a little further. Maybe creating more flexibility. One more time on each side. Good, and then just for a moment, rest your hands onto your knees. Just keep your eyes closed, long, deep breathing. We do not need to rush. As Nicola so nicely said, we don't need to rush. So now bring your right hand behind your head onto your left shoulder. Left hand reaches for your right elbow and then pull your torso over to the left. Come back up. Bring your left hand onto your right shoulder, right hand onto your left elbow. Lean over to the right. And just continue switching your hand position, going from side to side. See how far your body wants to stretch, not how far your mind wants to stretch. What does your body allow you to do without creating any stress? And see that the sit bones stay either on the floor or on your chair. Feel the difference if you lean over to the side on the inhalation or on the exhalation. What feels better to you? Good. Let's do one more time to each side. And then again, rest your hands onto your knees. Keep your eyes closed. Feel into your shoulders. Feel into the side of your body. And then we bring our fingertips in front of our shoulder. Thumbs into the back. Right elbow moves forward, up above the ear, back and around. And then the left elbow goes up in front, up over the ear, and back around. So you just alternate your elbows, moving backwards, like a backward stroke. It was so nice this morning. I read an interesting article, but I was sitting on a chair and my friend said, City, don't you want to sit here at the desk? Because I was so hunched over. Yeah, and that easily happens when we sit at the computer and if we are not on the desk, when we read something, when we are in our bed. And it's really not great for our shoulders, for our posture. You might hear some cracking, so that's okay. Don't worry about it. So now we want to reverse the direction. So just move the elbows forward alternately. Go in alignment with your breath. Good, and then from here, bring your elbows to parallel. Fingertips are still in front, thumb in the back. Bring your elbows back as far as you can, and exhale, have the elbows touch in front. So inhale, bring back, open the chest, exhale, elbows touch. See that your head stays up, that we are not bringing our chin to our chest, that the chin stays parallel to the floor. Bring your shoulder blades as close together as you can. Last 5. Good, and after the 5th one, have your elbows touch. Bring both elbows up above your ears, back, around, and then bring them together in the front. Inhaling up. Now exhale, open mouth. Inhale, nose. Elbows touch, go above your ears. Exhale when you bring your elbows around. Last 2. And then we rest our hands onto our knees or thighs and we close our eyes again. We feel into our shoulders, our shoulder blades. Now inhale, bring your left shoulder up to your left earlobe. Exhale, drop. Inhale, right shoulder comes up to the right earlobe and drop. And alternate. So here we want to create a good pace. So here we want to be a little fast so that we create some heat. See that you're not bringing your ear towards the shoulder, but the shoulder towards your ear. And now we want to move both shoulders up on the same at the same time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One minute. Go as powerfully as you can. Inhale up, hold your breath. Exhale, chin to chest. Move slowly, bring your chin up, head back. Exhale forward. Go slow here. Deep inhalation, arch your spine slightly. Exhale, you can round your spine slightly. Chin to chest. So you start to engage your spine. Last 3. Now bring your chin to parallel. Inhale, turn your head gently to the left. Exhale to the right. So if you're saying no, just imagine your little brain stem in the back. That really activates actually all our brain cells. Two more times. And then start to rotate. 4 rotation with your head. Inhaling towards the heavens, exhale down to earth, all through your nose. Reverse the direction, please. Last one. And then just we move into our last movement, and here I want you to move your head just for a minute in all directions. Be really, like flexible and free, because that will activate our brain stem. Yeah, so don't be in a rhythm or in a habit and pattern. Just do whatever comes to your mind to absolutely loosening up. It's just very shortly. Our brain stem really needs this exercise. So remember this one when you sit at the computer, or you're reading a book for a long time, or you sit in the car at the red light. This is very simple to do. And it's healthy for our brain. You might hear more noises now. That's all right. Don't worry. Good. And then just come sitting.